After a diver went out of his way to save a humpback whale, he was touched by the unexpected way the majestic creature showed its gratitude. One night, a lone humpback whale swam close to the shore of a city in the US, peacefully gliding through the water. But the darkness made it hard for the whale to see the dangers lurking beneath the surface. It soon became ensnared in a tangle of ropes and began to struggle desperately. The whale twisted and turned, trying to break free from the heavy weight, but its efforts were in vain. Hours passed, and the whale remained trapped, waiting for someone to come to its rescue. When a group of volunteers set out to sea, they had no idea that one of them would soon become a hero. James Mosquito, a seasoned diver who had recently joined the team, was among them. Early that morning, the team received a vague message about unusual activity overnight involving an animal. Curious and concerned, they launched their fastest boat and headed into the water. As they approached the location, about 7 miles off the coast of San Francisco, they spotted something struggling beneath the waves. It was the whale, its head bobbing up and down as it watched them with wary eyes. The whale was entangled in dozens of crab traps which had filled up overnight, creating a massive weight of about 3,000 pounds. This weight had anchored the whale to that spot. Unlike fish, whales need to breathe air regularly. This humpback was making desperate trips to the surface, but it was clear that it was exhausted. It was a miracle it had survived this long. As the crew observed, James felt a surge of alarm. Not long ago, he had witnessed a heart-wrenching scene, a blue whale shark suffering from repeated shark attacks. Now, he found himself in a similar predicament. The whale was not only stuck, but also wounded, leaking oil into the water. James knew this would attract nearby predators, especially sharks. You had an oil slick probably stretching over a mile, which meant there was a strong scent drawing in white sharks, James recalled. He knew he had to act quickly to save the whale, with time running out. James knew there was only one thing he could do: dive into the water and free the whale from the traps. With urgency, he slipped into his diving gear, sharing his thoughts as he prepared. The other divers listened closely, trusting him implicitly. They admired his experience and the grace with which he handled the pressure. As he gazed into the deep blue, he was fully aware that a shark could be lurking nearby. It wasn't just fear of where I was definitely thinking about the possibility of encountering something bigger than me, James admitted. While someone else might have hesitated or fled at the thought of a predator in the water, James's courage shone through. Instead of dwelling on the dangers, he focused on the hope of freeing the whale. Before he leapt in, he pulled a crew member aside and gave a stern warning about the sharks. He knew how to handle such threats, but wanted to ensure everyone was prepared. He advised them to keep vigilant and maintain eye contact with any sharks to deter them. James quickly scanned the area around the boat and, seeing no immediate sign of danger, set his sights on the whale. With steady hands, he donned his mask. In a heartbeat, he was in the water. Soon after, the rest of the divers joined him. As James approached the whale, he saw it struggling, its head bobbing above the surface, eyes fixed on him. The whale, desperate for help but wary of the approaching humans, looked both sad and exhausted. James felt a deep empathy for the creature. Understanding its predicament, he extended a hand and spoke soothingly. "I'm here to help you. I'm not going to hurt you." He gently rubbed the whale's face as he worked. The ropes had cut deeply into the whale's skin, causing painful burns and cuts. Its thrashing had only tightened the ropes, making the situation worse. James, driven by his compassion, began to cut through the tangled mess. With each slice, the whale came closer to freedom. The other divers assisted with care, always mindful not to inflict more harm. James kept an eye out for any approaching sharks, occasionally reminding his team to stay alert. Finally, the last cord was severed. The whale, now free, dove back into the water. The divers erupted in cheers, celebrating their success. They admired James, knowing his heroism would soon be recognized. "It's not every day a diver saves a whale," they said, but even that was overshadowed by what happened next. The whale, as if to thank James, swam back towards him. While the others had retreated to the boat, James remained in the water, mesmerized. The whale surfaced and began to nudge him gently, circling him with a playful grace. It was as if the whale was showing its gratitude like a beloved pet might. For several minutes the whale danced around James in a figure-8 pattern. The sight was surreal, a wild whale interacting with a human as if they were old friends. To James, it felt like a dream, a vivid memory he would cherish forever. What do you think of James's bravery? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this story inspiring, don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. I hope to see you again in another video. Take care.